experience out on that floor in front of us. Brent, your career spanned 14 seasons. Talk about how you saw the game differently as a veteran player versus the first couple years in the NBA.
Well, I saw it from the bench, quite frankly, as a veteran, Kevin.
Now, wait a minute. Now, hold on now. I know that's not altogether true.
I think the game just slows down. You start to understand that there is a tempo and a rhythm, not only to any given quarter, but any given game and any given season. So it's really, Kevin, about the idea of it slowing down. And I did sit on the bench towards the end, Kevin. That is true.
A little bit.
14 is still a good number.
But it turned out well for you.
Well, I get to sit next to you.
Well, it's a lot of fun. You're right. It's a lot of fun. Here are the starters for Los Angeles. The two stars, George and Leonard, fill up the forward slots. Beverly and Williams, the guard tandem. And Harrell's in at the 5 spot.
Well, he's a guy that count on to produce from the mid-range. He doesn't miss too many open looks from there.
Here's Gordon. Here's Capella, and the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him.
And this guy eats glass for a living. Capella with great anticipation on the backboard.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
And you know, you'll take what he can give you from the free throw line. Looking at his numbers, just really not one of his strengths. Shooting in the low 60s last season.
Now here's Beverly. Over in the corner, Williams. Lock at 6 with the shot. Rebounded by Capella.
He loved to make them pay for giving up that wide open jumper, just unable to do so.
Westbrook kicks to Harden. Westbrook passes to Capella. Tucker dishes to Harden. Tipped away. Westbrook way outside. It doesn't go for him. So the Clippers will take it the other way. Right side, George. Nice shot from the wing.
Well, it's the golden age of point guards, and Patrick Beverly trying to show that he belongs amongst them. Great awareness on that play.
For 3, Westbrook. Here's Capella. And the rebound paying off as they pick up 2 on the second chance bucket right there.
And that's a lesson for the D. Fight harder on the glass.
Yeah, you just can't afford to give up second chance opportunities again and again.
And that one's good, George.
Well, Paul George concentrating through the contact and making sure he had a shooting window open.
Well, Brent, you look at the explosive numbers George has put up. A lot of it has to do with how he runs the pick and roll.
Incredible at his size and his ability to read the defenses in pick and roll situation. Anytime there's a defender that decides to go under on Paul George from the perimeter, he can let that thing rip from the three-point line. Last year, I think you saw him with the most poise that he's ever played with in his career. I expect that to continue.
And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
And he makes the first.
Many thought the Raptors or Lakers would land Kawhi, but in the end, he came to the Clippers to write his own legacy. Returning to Southern Cal, where he grew up, was a big part of his decision. The big surprise was how Kawhi was out recruiting other stars behind the scenes to join him with the Clippers.
When he came into the NBA, Kawhi Leonard wasn't the most refined player, but something in Spurs management and with the work of the coaching staff, they found a superstar.
Outside, Gordon. Tucker with the ball, working on Williams. 13 feet away. Capella lays it in off the pretty alley-oop.
And what an alley-oop. Those two read each other so well.
It's a play I'm sure they love to run. Outside, Williams. It's rebounded by Houston. Capella's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. He nails it, and we're tied up.
Well, Westbrook's so ferocious going to the rim. You have to defend against that first and foremost. But when you do, what about the pull-up? You got nothing.
And the Clippers decide to take their first timeout here. Daniel House has checked in for the Rockets. Rivers comes in for Russell Westbrook. The Clippers also changing it up. Zubac is checked in for Montrezl Harrell. Green comes in for Kawhi Leonard. And Landry Shamet subbed in for Lou Williams. Now here's Beverly. No points in the game yet for him. And George kicks to Zubas. Kept alive. Good work defensively by Capella. And so it's Rivers with it. He'll bring it up for the Houston Rockets. Inside. And it's Capella missing.
Yeah, better than giving up the layup. You want to go in there and use the hard foul. They did it there. That's aggressive attitude defensively.
That one goes in.
This is a solid opening quarter right here. Very active and creating a lot of good opportunities for himself.
Rivers against Beverly. Fires from 14. Rivers can't get it to go. For Los Angeles, they've gone 4 for 9 from the field to start this game off.
And the Clippers franchise joined this league in 1970. They've never made it past the conference semifinals.
Yeah, but the last few years, when you talk about the landscape of Los Angeles, the Clippers have had a remarkable run. Much better record than the Lakers have had in Tinseltown. And so surprising to think of all the talent that's come through the Clipper doors in prior years, but this could be the year with these additions where they break through.
And the foul on Harden. That is his first foul of the game.
2 years ago, Paul George and his curious travels about where he was going to land in terms of free agency made his way back to Oklahoma City, and a lot of people were wondering why he made that choice. Then a year later, at the behest of Kawhi Leonard, a trade goes down where Paul George ends up back in Los Angeles with the Clippers. You talk about a two-way threat along with Kawhi Leonard. What an unbelievable wing combination the Clippers have with these two.
And the Rockets with possession here. Paul George missing from long range. And the jam by Harden.
And I just love how aggressive Harden is inside. When he's deep like that, he is ready to finish with authority.
Green against George. From deep. And no good on the last second attempt this time. So at the end of one quarter of play, still a close game. Rockets. Russell Westbrook has surly disposition on the court, but he talked.
Throughout the years, I've been trying to find.
Well, you can't win it alone.
And for superstar players like Westbrook, individual greatness isn't enough. It's about elevating the team around them.
And if you're just tuning in, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. And when you consider how the Rockets are doing, guys, what do you think?
Just cashing in on second chance opportunities. That's how they built this early lead.
Working the offensive glass that sometimes comes from predictable shots from your offense, and they've been opportunistic here.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. So on the floor for Houston, we've got Harden. He's out there with Rivers. Clint Capella is out there with Green, and it's House in at the 4 slot. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, Lou Williams won 6th Man of the Year for the 3rd time last season. He joined Kevin McHale and Detlef Schrempf as the only players to win the award in consecutive seasons. And with the most career points ever scored off the bench, maybe they should just name this award after him. Kevin?
David, I'm all for it. Thank you so much. And boy, is he in good company. The starting gate, opening night in the NBA, Brent. What are you most looking forward to?
I just like to see who it is that, in terms of their competitive spirit right now, is coming out of training camp hungry. Let's see in the next couple weeks which team jumps out and which coaching staffs have done a great job preparing their team coming out of camp. Now, we know that teams can fall off, Kevin. The talent will catch up. Other veteran teams may get themselves back into a rhythm. But coming out of training camp, how much more together are teams and teams that have made changes? What are they playing like?
What's their chemistry? Exactly.
Let's find out how they're going to play this year.
Second quarter of action, about a minute and a half played. Williams against Westbrook. Williams kicks to Harrell. Shot clock at 6. Pass to Shamet. to stop the run. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. Harrell's got his first points of the game. Second quarter of play with around 2 minutes gone so far. And plenty of contact on the shot, so 2 free throws coming up. And the foul called on Los Angeles.
He just has physical tools to make you go in there and foul him. Westbrook back to the line.
That free throw, no good. Well, hard to believe that Russell Westbrook has now gone 3 consecutive seasons averaging a triple-double.
You remember, Kevin, just how much we were flipping out about the possibility of somebody doing this again since Oscar Robertson, and now Russell doing it 3 straight years. It's just a mind blow.
And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. And a huge piece of the Tobias Harris trade last year, Brent, Landry Shamet, shows a lot of promise.
Interesting for Lambeau, as they call him, at age 22 out of Wichita State, to come into the league, show his ability to shoot from the three-point line, shot 40% from deep while taking over 4 a game last year, seemed very comfortable in seeking out the line. And the opportunity for him now with the star power around him, a lot more is going to open up for Landry Shamet to be a 3rd or 4th guy on the offensive end to make some major contributions.
They've settled into a nice groove offensively here in the second.
And the pass to Leonard. Over Green. It's good. And the Rocket lead is cut back down again to 5. The basket that time coming from Kawhi Leonard. Westbrook with it. The 3. And another 3 for Houston.
Well, Westbrook does a ton of damage at the mid-range, but when he has a 3-point shot going, look out.
Passes to Leonard. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Williams. Leonard's got 5 points so far.
A tough start scoring the basketball, but they're starting to turn it around now.
And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets. Greg, I'm just so impressed with the level of finesse and craftiness that Lou Williams always plays with.
And Kevin, you don't stay a perennial 6th Man of the Year candidate at Williams' age without having more than a few tricks up your sleeve. He's so good in tight spaces and can find a way to get a shot up where others just have to kick it out.
Gordon's checked in for Green. Now Leonard. After Westbrook's missed 3. Harrell finds Leonard. Oh, and the jam by Leonard.
It looks like an orange in his hand, and Kawhi tenacious to the rim with that finish.
Westbrook feeling it out a bit. Over Williams. Westbrook, no good.
Even if you're not shooting it, you like to see the effort level, and his tonight has been high.
Here's Williams. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. And now just a 2-point Rocket lead.
In a way, Lou Williams, a little bit like J.R. Smith, he'll welcome the chance to finish off, especially if it's a difficult shot.
Here's Westbrook. Whistle blows. Bucket is good, and he'll have a chance at the line to make it a 3-point play.
Seemed to be laying in the weeds there in the first quarter, but now we're seeing him come out, put all the cards on the table, and ramp it up.
Looking at who's out there now for the Rockets. Clint Capella comes in for Danuel House. And James Harden subbed in for Rivers. Zubac is checked in for the Clippers. Paul George comes in for Landry Shamet.
Well, on top of everything else that you get from Russell Westbrook, you get some good foul shooting. Important trait for any point guard and great scorer in the league. Find your way to the line.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
There's 1:26 left in the first half. Leonard against Gordon. Back to Westbrook. Lets it go from deep. Add another make to his scoring column. His 5th basket of the game. Now shooting 5 of 11.
They're getting a lot of their points outside the paint. 3 of their last 5 baskets are from 3-point range.
And it's Leonard missing.
And guys, you've heard of overpassing. Well, that shot was an example of underpassing.
Maybe they can find a way to establish some rhythm in the next few possessions with the extra pass.
Westbrook with the bucket.
getting a little bit more room here from the mid-range, the explosive shot area, getting quick to that spot and separating from the defender.
Now here's Williams. 5 points in the game. George passes to Leonard. Nice passing here by Los Angeles. Here's Harrell. No good on the triple. Rockets leading by 8. Westbrook finds Capella. Harden outside. Shoots. And Houston again with the bucket.
And Harden is a nightmare in the pick and roll. Just a clever combo guard who is completely unpredictable.
And so thank you, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite. There was no stopping Russell Westbrook in the first half. He ended up with 15 points and 2 rebounds. We were talking about him after his last game, and now tonight we're seeing that same level of intensity. What'd you think, Shaq, about the first? And now with the second half about.
And if you're just joining us in this one, first half is in the books. 1 half to go. Well, you look at Russell Westbrook in this game, he has been everywhere.
Well, we'll find out if they were able to find an answer for him over the break. He was scoring with ease in that first half.
Yeah, just way too easy out there, and I'm sure coach is going to make that a priority at halftime.
Heading underway in the second half, here's the 5 for Doc Rivers. Leonard down low at 4 with Harrell in the middle. Beverly and Williams, the guard tandem. And it's George in at the 3. And there's the foul. It will go on P.J. Tucker. That's his first foul. Clippers trail by 8. Now here's Beverly. He's still scoreless so far in this one. Pass to Leonard. Over Gordon. Hits the front of the rim and out. Houston's gotten fewer than half of their three-pointers to go down tonight. They're 4 for 9.
And a boon it was for the Rockets to be able to keep Clint Capella. A great fit with the team and gives them exactly what they need on the interior.
From deep, Harden. Houston gets it back. Tucker.
Just such an elite defender with unreal instincts. Kawhi Leonard consistent at locking up whoever it is he's guarding.
Really crisp, intelligent passing to make that basket possible.
And Greg Capella, who was taken near the end of the first round back in 2014 in the draft, has developed well during his time with Houston.
And Capella's game has really taken off in the last few seasons. He looks to be a double-double machine for this team for the next handful of years, and that is exactly what they need.
Here's Westbrook. Oh, and the jam by Westbrook.
Russell getting to the rim, one of my favorite things to watch the entire season.
Clippers trail by 6. Beverly, the pass to Leonard. Over Gordon. And it's Leonard missing.
Another rebound hauled in. They're hitting the glass with a lot of passion.
Bucket is good. And that's now 11 points for James Harden.
Making the easy shots and the tough shots. He's on top of his game.
Pass to Leonard. 6 for 10 with that shot going in. That's a good game for a lot of guys.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
For 3, Westbrook. That's a basket. His 8th from the field, 8 of 14.
Yeah, Russell is not stopping right now. So sure on the offensive end. Just complete confidence there.
Bounce pass from Beverly. Leonard kicks to Beverly. Now here's Harrell, guarded by Tucker. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
And wow, you just have to love the motor on Montrezl Harrell when he's on the floor. Great on the glass, and he just plays with such a a fire.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. Daniel House has checked in for P.J. Tucker, and it's Rivers in for Russell Westbrook. And then for Los Angeles, JaMychal Green comes in for Kawhi Leonard, and Landry Shamet subbed in for Williams. Gordon the pass to House. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. That one on George. And with Harrell, you can see how his energy spreads to the rest of the team.
Reminds me a bit of what Fareed used to bring to teams. Harrell is also undersized, but boy, he makes up for it in so many ways.
Zubac is checked in for Harrell. Brandon, this next question culture we're in, what comments do you want to hear from players who have just lost a game and facing disappointment?
I like the humility aspect of this question, Kevin, and the thing that I listen to most from players who get it, they'll compliment their opponent first. Something had to happen where the opponent did something enough to beat you on that night. So you don't say that we did all these things. Give the opponent credit first. Secondly, players who shoulder a massive amount of responsibility, they'll say that they could have played better first. And that takes and deflects everything away from their teammates. And then they'll talk about what they're looking forward to most, and their challenge is we'll get better tomorrow. We'll get better next game. And that they know there's room to grow. Those three things are pretty impactful.
Well said. Here's George. And it's James Harden with the rebound. Rockets leading by 8. The dish to Rivers. Houston moving the ball around. There's Gordon with the 3. Paul George grabs the miss. George has got his 5th rebound in this one. Here's Shamet. Los Angeles with another miss. Houston's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Shot by Gordon, wide open. A three-pointer is right on target.
Gordon gets the pass there and takes off for the jump shot before the defense could react.
Outside, George. The rebound by Harden.
He may not be the strongest inside presence in the league, but still, he's got to convert from there.
House kicks to Harden. House dishes to Rivers. Shoots from the line. That one falls. Rivers has got the lead up to 13 now for the Rockets.
That's what you get with a bigger guard, a guy that can carve out a little bit more space, and Rivers does a good job that time.
To end the run, the Rockets pull it in. There's 31 seconds left in the third quarter. Here is House, guarded by Green. House kicks to Harden. And a miss there on the triple.
Well, if he wants to make the defense work, he's got to start knocking down the threes. Only one so far in this game for him, and none since halftime.
Here's George. From deep. Can't get it to fall. And so it's the Houston Rockets. Their lead at 15 going into the break. And their ability to get points in the paint has made all the difference in this one. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
And definitely deserving of the prize tonight. How about the read he made here? Looking like a point guard, putting the pass right on the money.
So helpful to the offensive versatility when your bigs can create, freeing everybody up, and that cut was wide open.
And there have been two very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. Tucker and Capella are up front. Austin Rivers is out there with Russell Westbrook. And it's Gordon in at the 3, the small forward. That's the 5 for Houston right now. Outside, George. 6 on the shot clock. Over Gordon. Zubac trying to break loose. And that one's good, George. George has got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for Los Angeles. Gordon against George. Ball's knocked loose. The drive by Gordon. Capella trying to free himself up. And the basket by Gordon.
when you run the pick and roll like they did right there, it's a thing of beauty as Eric Gordon really gets the best look at the rim on the play.
George with the bounce pass. Leonard draws the double. Back to George. Over in the corner, Beverly. Off target from three-point range.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area.
Guy's got some of the best hands in the league. Paul George instincts right there, pokes that ball away.
Now a timeout called by Houston. And Brent, as you know, there aren't many players that can set a tone for a team, but Patrick Beverly is one of them.
And Patrick Beverly always embraces that role about setting the tone defensively on an opposing team's point guard, making sure that tonight, if you're going to beat the team that Pat Beverly plays on, you're going to have to go through them.
Catching up on the changes for the Clippers. Harrell, he's checked in for Zubac, and it's Williams in for Landry Shamet. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, during that break, Mike D'Antoni talked to his team. He talked about the mindset they need to have and what he wants to see the rest of the way. Engagement at both ends and making good decisions with the ball. Guys?
Beverly looking around. Tried to answer back, but that three is off the mark. Here's Westbrook. That one, no good. So the Clippers will take it the other way. Leonard draws the double. Fires the three. It's hauled in by Clint Capella. Capella's got rebound number 13 with that last one. And here's Westbrook from the arc. The Rockets with a new 14. And the whistle blows as the basket counts and a three-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Houston making a switch here. Harden's checked in. You know, Brett, we know guys love really jawing at each other. What was your criteria for issuing a double technical for trash talk?
Yeah, in today's game, it's kind of like it could be a whisper
right.
or a wink, you know, the way that they look at it.
It's both sides, doesn't it?
And they just try to curtail anything that could escalate, Kevin. That's really what the referees are doing. As soon as they see some kind of body movement or see guys starting that way, they want to cut it off before anything else happens. So the criteria is a little bit confusing. Sometimes I like to see them getting after a little bit.
And they've had assists now on their last three baskets.
The pass to Tucker. He kicks to Gordon. And here is Capella, defended by George. Back to Gordon. And some nice passing there by Houston. The Rockets with another miss. Clippers trail by 15. Here's George, and foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. That one's on Eric Gordon.
Yeah, Paul George put his defender in the blender right there. Tough for him to guard that kind of possession.
That free throw, no good. Good on the second free throw.
And with Paul George, it's pretty awesome. You get the whole package. You get great scoring. You get good playmaking and rebounding. You get a defender with active hands. And there's a lot of things about Paul George that can elevate everything you do to have great team success.
Leonard against Harden. Passes it to Tucker. Over Williams. A nice shot by Tucker. And the Rockets lead by 16.
And Harden is more than just a scorer. He's also got some sensational handles and passing instincts. Loves connecting with his teammates.
Los Angeles calls timeout. They're trailing by 16. 1:57 left here in the fourth quarter. A chance now to recognize our Jordan Player of the Game, Russell Westbrook.
And a lot of his points have come from beyond the arc. And that's been big because it's opened the floor for himself and his teammates. And without his work from downtown, their offense would have really struggled.
The better he played, the more these fans got revved up. And that continued to play out over the course of his amazing performance. Pass to George. 8 for 15 with that made basket, but he's not satisfied yet.
Well, he does a lot of work on the perimeter, but don't let Paul George fool you. He can finish inside.
Westbrook finds Harden. Takes a three. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. George has got his 6th rebound on the night.
And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident-looking performance for the Rockets.
They had a fantastic play from the bench.
And this team has great depth, and they showed it in this game.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year. And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Russell Westbrook.
Just does a great job of looking for space and then finding it. That's taking advantage of what the defense is giving you.
Harden against Williams. Harden left side. Pass to Capella. And the rejection by Harrell. Houston a whole new 5 on the floor. Chandler outside. Down to 5 on the shot clock. A nice shot by Rivers.
This arena was rocking throughout the night. You could really feel the energy.
Yeah, huge motivation, always great for a young team, but veteran players also appreciate when fans come with that kind of energy and get into the spirit of the game.
Harkless kicks to Patterson. No good on that one. Great D that time from Green. So we see Houston taking the W here. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate just what a clinical performance they put on.
I know their fans appreciated it, and we saw.
David, thank you as always. And that'll do it, folks. For Brent Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. See you next time.